Red. He's our resident doctor. And of course, Professor Shilpa and I are researchers and are in the academy. So welcome everyone to our orientation to entrepreneurship. So of course, we need to follow some rules in order for us to really enjoy this session. Of course, I know all of you know how to use Zoom. So first you have to turn off the mic when not speaking, turn on the video if you can, use the chat for questions and reactions. And of course, when we say something that resonates with you, that you accept and you feel that you can like really relate, give us that clap, that thumbs up, raise your hand, even the heart. We would love it very much, and we would really enjoy talking more about what we are, sharing. So of course, the Movers program wants to mobilize youth across Asia Pacific to raise awareness about the Sustainable Development Goals and develop entrepreneurial mindsets by organizing and facilitating the Movers Workshop in your communities. After the Movers Workshop, you can bring it to your community, bring it to your friends, and of course, you can also become a mover. So our founding partners are the following. It's here. We have Youth Collab, UNDP, and City Foundation, and we also have our curriculum partners. Now for this event, we have, of course, Jed Child Trust Foundation. That is our partner with the ASEAN Youth Organization, Philippines. And we also have, of course, the Rotary Club of Alabang Madrigal Business Park and the Rotary Club of Chinchwad, Pune in India. We also have TalkShop Asia Power Network, Yes Tech IT Solutions, Porsche, and more. So welcome everyone. So my question is, since you guys joined entrepreneurship, at the end of this workshop, you need to finish my sentence and I will read whatever you type. So at the end of this workshop, I'll be happy if, well, for me, at the end of this workshop, I'll be happy if any one of you would really consider opening a business where it is it serves a community, and it would hit some of the SDGs that we talked about last time. Remember, we talked about the 17 SDGs. So that I'd be really happy if you would have some takeaways. So let's see. Anyone would like to type? Okay, so there's none yet. Maybe I can ask Dr. Shilpa. At the end of this workshop, Professor Shilpa, you'll be happy if?
See, if at the end of the workshop, if I come to know about entrepreneurship, and if I get some inputs or takeaways to enrich myself as an entrepreneur, then I think I'll be very happy.
Thank you very much, Professor Shilpa. Of course, every one of us want to learn something new. That's why we are here. And it's not just us, the facilitators. It's good. Every time we have breakout sessions, we really look forward to it because we also learn from you. It's not just about us, it's also about you. It's about the things and the experiences that you have, the culture, the community, and everything. So that is why we are here. We are here to learn from each other. So from Himangi, he goes, I'll be happy if I get information about how to become a good entrepreneur. Well, you are in the right place because this is not just about entrepreneurship. It's also about really becoming a social entrepreneur. So you'll find out more about it after I talk. And of course, the rest of us. Hold on, it's not following me. Okay, so the objectives of this workshop is to understand what entrepreneurship means, explore what it takes to become an entrepreneur. I'm sure all of you have an idea what it is, and of course, discover actionable tools for entrepreneurs. So this is what we want you to take away as well. Okay, so we have a couple of rules that, of course, we'd like you to follow. We need you to listen with attention, share with intention. This is a like safe place. So if you want to like share something, it's okay. We won't be sharing it with other people. You can always, you know, share whatever it is that you would want to share with us. And of course, we have to suspend judgment because we come from different cultures, we come from different communities, and we have different experiences. So we need to really suspend judgment and just trust the process and the facilitator. So there are 3 of us facilitating this evening since Paloma is not here because of the weather and internet issues. So feel free to share your feelings and reactions anytime. And of course, we would like you to have fun and make new friends. So we have 25 of us inside. And so I think there will be more. So according to Usung Udwak Akan, she'll be happy if I'm able to successfully run an enterprise as an entrepreneur, which can solve at least one SDG. Okay, that's really a good goal because as long as you have one, it's interconnected, so you'll find 2 more. Hi, everyone. Hello, Joyce. Okay, so let's go and start our journey. So entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are risk takers with imagination who seek to create or identify new business opportunities. Social entrepreneurs are those who do that while solving a social or environmental issue. So there is a difference, no? So with entrepreneurs, of course, they are risk takers, they have imagination, and they also want to create business opportunities. Now with entrepreneurs, they want to earn money and then keep the money. Now, right now, I think a lot of people are more concerned with corporate social responsibility. And because of this, there are social entrepreneurs that we have. So entrepreneurship really refers to the process of creating a new enterprise and bearing any of its risk with a view of making the profit. The person who creates a new enterprise and embraces every challenge for its development and operation is known as an entrepreneur. So if you're able to like take that risk, if you have the money, if you want to start a business, then you can be an entrepreneur. Now with social entrepreneurs, they really they're concerned with social responsibilities that is aligned with the SDGs that we talked about last time, which is the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so I think 899, you raise your hand. I'll call you in a bit. So I'm just explaining about the difference with entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurs. Okay, so think of examples of or social entrepreneurs that you can think of. What makes them an entrepreneur? So can you tell the difference? Because I already told you what it is. So can you actually think of entrepreneurs or social entrepreneurs in your area or in your community? Please just type it on chat. And of course, I think 899, are you still there? You wanted to ask a question, you can actually type it. So let's see, Dennis, since I see you, and I'm sure that you know a lot of people in your community, can you tell me of a social entrepreneur or an entrepreneur that you know, like a businessman? Go ahead, Dennis. You can unmute yourself if you wish. Dennis? Okay, is there anybody that knows like people that have a business in their community, your uncle, your aunt, somebody, your neighbor? Is there anybody that would like to share? How about you, Professor Shilpa? I think some of them are not. Okay, Tayos, those hi. Go ahead, Professor Shilpa.
Okay, I know many businessmen and entrepreneurs around me. The first one was my late father-in-law, Vasanta Ganpule. He was an established, what should I say, builder and contractor. And he built more than, I think, 700 plus buildings and bungalows and industrial estates. So I know him.
Wow.
And the second person is obviously my husband, Mr. Prasad. He is having his own business. He's an entrepreneur, and he's having his business of construction management. So his is a construction management consultancy firm. So I know two entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. Okay, that's good. It's coming from experience. And also, Professor Shilpa, I'd like to share with you the very, well, the inspiration behind what I am doing is also my mom, because she's also an entrepreneur. She has a school that she has opened for 40 years already, and she was able to open a college as well, and like an IT school. And through her, I was able to learn, some of the skills of being hardworking, putting everything like blood, sweat, and tears in what you are doing, and being passionate with everything. So it's good to share the experiences that we have, so that the people will also know that, it could be just the people around you. It doesn't have to be somebody who's really, super great, or super successful. It's just the people around you that have touched the lives of a lot of people, giving jobs, helping others. And of course, now with corporate social responsibility and the SDGs that we have, I think most of the entrepreneurs that we are going to train here would be very responsible in thinking like how could they connect it with what they are doing really. So let's see. I know of, according to Usung Udwak Akan, he knows of Bill Drayton. He's the founder of Ashoka. He's like a social entrepreneur. Who is after the benefits of coming to people, not just about profits. Yes, that's right. It's not just about profits. If you're a social entrepreneur, it's also giving back to people and to the community. But a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't know that they're doing social entrepreneurship. With the things that they are doing, they're helping a lot of people already. So it is just now that we define it as social entrepreneurship. But before, we know a lot of people that are well established, that they would donate a library, they would donate, a hospital and things like that. So Professor Shilpa raised her hand. I think she'd like to add more to what I'm sharing. Go ahead, Professor.
Actually, many of the, what should I say, the audience just now, I don't know whether they know it or not, but I would like to bring to notice of everyone that the person who is just now speaking, the speaker, Rotarian Dr. Alexi Reyes, she herself is an entrepreneur, and we are having this particular movers program through, we are using the platform called Yes Take Solutions, and that is obviously it belongs to, she is the CEO of the company. So I think you are at the right hands, and Dr. Ray, he is a very good, what should I say, resource person, and he will be adding to it. So basically, I just wanted to tell you that once, if the person has got experience, and that too first-hand experience, so the person is speaking, and that is Dr. Alex. So over to Alex.
Thank you very much, Professor Shilpa. You're telling them what I do. So it is actually also corporate social responsibility for me. I actually created Yes Tech to help those in the far-flung areas. So we started with a basic platform actually, and it was to help these kids that are not learning. So through the app that we have, we are able to reach them and we are able to deliver learning, because not everyone has a laptop, not everyone does have a desktop, so they can learn through their cell phones. And you can buy a cell phone for 1,000 or 2,000, and so they're able to learn through YesTech. And of course, the teachers that also want to have a sideline where they would like to earn money, we have this basic platform so they can do their tutorials and stuff like that, so they can earn money through YesTech. That is why we created this at first, and then later on we created the premium brand, because we realized we also have to live and that's why we have both. So one is free, so that we could reach even the most far-flung area, and the other one is for schools to really help them with their operations. So let's continue on. So my question here is, since you guys are already in our workshop, why would you want to become an entrepreneur? Maybe we can ask our participants. Is there anybody that would like to share why you would want to become an entrepreneur? Remember, when you're an entrepreneur, you are able to take control of your own money. You're able to, well, help others with your own money as well. But it's not a bed of roses, and the journey is not going to be very easy for all of us, of course, but it will be very rewarding. So may I ask a brave soul over here? Maybe I can ask Renuka. Renuka, why would you want to be an entrepreneur? Are you there, Renuka? Or maybe I can, let's see. Oh, Daddy Right goes, personally, to touch the lives of the underprivileged. This is such a noble, to become an entrepreneur, and if you want to really help the underprivileged, that's such a noble idea and such a noble act to do. So good luck, Daddy Right. I really hope that you'll be successful with whatever business you would want to explore. Okay, are there more? Okay, since there are none anymore, let's proceed. Okay, so Dennis, go ahead, Dennis. You may unmute yourself. Yes, thank you, Dennis. Go ahead.
Okay. To me, I want to be an entrepreneur because I want to bring resources nearer to my people, and I want to make them actually make myself prosper in life, and I want to make people to get maybe the goods. If in the social entrepreneurship, I want to create tutorials so that I make people understand and enjoy the life that can make them good in life. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dennis, for sharing. Also, Oloye goes, to make people comfortable and make the world a better place. I think we all have our idea of how we can really contribute to people and really make sure that we are able to run a business and also make a difference. For Himangi, he goes to be on myself and to help people through SDGs, by SDGs. Thank you very much, Himangi. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to go to breakout rooms, and we are going to divide you into two groups, and we would like you to share your ideas as to what entrepreneurship is for you. Do you know any entrepreneurs? What makes them an entrepreneur, and why would you want to be an entrepreneur? So these are questions that you will have to answer when you enter the breakout room. So I'm going to send you to breakout rooms. And of course, Joyce Banjo goes to create opportunities for others. All your answers are so good and they're so great. So I'm sure that when you go to the breakout rooms and share, it will be really fruitful. And of course, you could share amongst yourselves. And so I'll stop sharing so I can create the breakout rooms already. Hold on.
That's the most important.
Yes, so welcome back, everyone. I'm sure you had like a good sharing. And of course, since I'd like to know what it is that you talked about inside the breakout room, we have Professor Shilpa Gauri Ganpule. Of course, she'll be facilitating this part. So if you'd like to share, please do so. So over to you, Professor Shilpa.
Thank you so much, Rotarian Dr. Alex. So just now we had a breakout room session, and it was really fantastic that many of the participants, they came up with their own stories, and they talked about the small short, maybe the small entrepreneurs, but they are doing amazing things in their own little ways. And I was deeply touched by the story which was told by Daddy, the story which is told by Amin, and the story obviously which was shared with us all by Hemangi. So we'll start with Hemangi. Would you like to say something, Hemangi, so that everybody will come to know what that story was?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Medankar, a small shopkeeper who is running a general store, he is helping the people with small needy things everyday's life, and he started a box also, a helping box, and in that he used to ask people to, if they are willing to give the money for a noble cause of helping students. That's it, ma'am.
That's amazing, Hemangi. So a small entrepreneur, a shopkeeper from a community-based, he has got a shop. He is helping out in his own little ways, but he is a great entrepreneur indeed, because he understands his social responsibility as well. So now I would like you, Amin, to say something about your parents, because they have set an example before you, and I am sure that you're going to be a good entrepreneur. Would you like to share something, Amin, with all the participants here in the workshop? Is it possible for you, Amin, to speak? Okay, I will read out. He said that the qualities that make, wait. Yeah. An entrepreneur is a risk taker. Both my parents are entrepreneurs, as they're running about 10 to 15 schools here in Pakistan. So Amin's parents, they are running 15 schools in Pakistan. It's indeed a commendable thing. And he says that the qualities that make them good entrepreneurs are that they are multitaskers, and they always have solutions to the problems they face. There is not just a plan B, rather they have got several plans. So I mean, your parents are doing amazing things, and what you said was that they are multitaskers. Yes, it's a good quality, or rather the requisite to be an entrepreneur, that is that he or she should be a multitasker, and they are multitaskers, and they should be able to take the risks. And the problems, and the problems are part and parcel of our life, isn't it? But solving problems is the trait of a good entrepreneur. So your parents are really amazing entrepreneurs, and I salute from this movers workshop all of us Please salute to your parents. Please convey our regards to your parents. Thank you so much, Amberin, for sharing such a wonderful story. There was one more person, Daddy, right? Would you like to say something about your friends? Because it was really a nice story, an inspiring story. Somebody who is doing amazing things for the nomadic students. Yes. Hi, Daddy.
Okay, thank you once more. Like I said at the beginning, I am Delphine. This friend of mine started a small business to put up a primary school, that's at the level of basic education. In my country, primary school goes up to 6 years. And before the primary level, we have the pre-primary, which goes for 2 years. So she started by first thinking of the infrastructure to put up. And you know, sometimes business strive because of the packaging. All of us are aware that packaging also goes a long way to boost a business. Yeah. So putting up an institution, we think of the structure in which the school has to run. Therefore, she had to begin by putting a temporary structure, one large hall, and then subdivide. So she divided the hall into rooms, whereby she will be having workshops for the students, innovative workshop for the students, because one of the objectives of the primary school was geared towards innovation in the 21st century. So the structure that she put forth was made from wood, just wood. She had to use wood to construct that structure. But through the process that the establishment is existing now for 3 years, she has had a lot of obstacles. So putting up that structure at the beginning, it is not easy. So as an entrepreneur, you should first of all be a risk taker, because you don't just think that starting up a small business, you will have some benefits at the onset. No, you have to take that risk and put things in place and think of the future that lies ahead of you. When you think of the future and the goal that you have put, both short-term goal and long-term goals, then those obstacles will boost your morals and you will persist until you arrive at your goals. And I'm sure that is what she did. And now for 3 years, she has started seeing the benefits in that institution. Meanwhile, she has created jobs for those at that particular locality who didn't have jobs, while the children there, because of language barrier, didn't have an institution like that. So the presence of her institution has brought light to those who had a second language, which is English, and didn't have an opportunity for an institution around them. So I give an applause to that, and I really want to emulate that spirit tomorrow.
Okay. That's wonderful. You have talked about your friend who is doing amazing thing. I will request everyone to please mute yourselves. When you talk or speak, that time you can unmute yourself. Thank you so much for your cooperation. So Daddy Right has rightly pointed out that a good entrepreneur is, is a focused person. He knows what he wants to achieve through that business, number one. Number two, a good entrepreneur is a one who is a risk taker, because her friend took risks, and no, she does not took just risks. And there was a third thing is that problems are going to be faced when you start a business. But she also told the story how she overcame the problems. So I think that a good entrepreneur is a risk taker. Then he is focused and he knows, and he is always ready to overcome the obstacles. So just wonderful. Hemangi, have you raised your hand? Would like to say something?
Yes, ma'am. I want to request you to tell about Mrs. Nisha Belsare, who is your mother also, about her educational contribution.
Okay, actually, in the breakout session, I talked about my mother. Thank you so much, Hemangi. So, since she's requesting me, I would like to say something about my mom. See, my mother is a teacher. She's a headmistress. She's a principal of a school. She started a school 52 years back. And when she started a school, it was a small village, and there were no schools around. So starting a school in a village was a very great obstacle, but she was focused. So the school started with a small sapling. Now it is a full-grown tree. And in the pandemic, the school celebrated its 50th year. And she did amazing things. And I'm also a product of the same school, Sainath Balak Mandir. So just like Alex, uh, just like Rotary and Dr. Alex, I'm also, what should I say, the follower of my mother. And I think that what makes my mom or Alex, Dr. Alex's mom, a good entrepreneur is, I would like to say a few words about my mom, because then I know that she must be having the same qualities. My mom is an innovator. She's a creative person. She has brought about many new things in her profession, that is in a school. Then number one, and then she is very positive. She's optimistic. And the last but not the least, because we are going to discuss many things related with that. So I just want to say that she's very much focused. She had one goal, and that was to educate people. Yes, so that was her goal, and she is doing this amazing thing for last 52 years. So I think that persistence and perseverance, these, and last but not the least, patience, these are the three qualities that an entrepreneur require. So thank you so much, Hemangi, and thank you so much, everyone, that at least I could say something about my mom. Thank you. Now, anyone wants to say something? Otherwise, we will go ahead. Yes, thank you. So we can go to the next slide. Okay, so when you all were assessing the influences different entrepreneurs have made on you, or we were just discussing, the people, maybe a small entrepreneur or a big entrepreneur. But basically what we were discussing were about the traits of his or her personality, isn't it? So now examples of personality traits shared by successful entrepreneurs. So there's a table here which gives the qualities, and actually, when you all were talking, maybe it was Amin, or maybe it is Satyam or Hemangi or Joycey or Victor or Yemili. I don't know some of the names, or Shubham. You might have touched all these traits shared by different entrepreneurs, but still we will just go through the qualities that make an entrepreneur a successful entrepreneur. So optimism. Now this is the first quality. What is optimism? Can anybody tell me what is optimism, or how can you call a person an optimistic person? Anyone quickly can write what is an optimistic? Yes, Dr. Alex.
Somebody who's excited and who's positive to do something, looking at the positive side always.
Perfect. So Dr. Alex has rightly pointed out, she herself is an optimist. She herself is very positive. So a optimist is a person who is very positive and who is very enthusiastic, who is ready to take challenges. See, remember one thing, if you're not optimistic and if you do not have a positive attitude towards life, then obviously you're not going to be ready to take challenges in life. Isn't it correct? And an entrepreneur has to take challenges every now and then. So he has to be optimistic. He has to have a positive attitude. Yes. Now, next is leadership, or we will just go leadership. Can you tell me who a good leader is? You already had many workshops. Yes, students, there was one workshop on leadership, or even though you do not attend leadership workshop, it doesn't mind, but can you define a leader? Anyone? You can write in the chat box or raise a hand. Okay, a good leader is a leader means what? Leader means the person who, you know, oh yes, okay. Here, you know, Victor has said, okay, so sorry. I'm so sorry, Victor, I didn't read out. Yeah, okay. So he said that optimistic person he has confidence about the future and success of something. But this we can apply to a leader also. A good leader is person who is hopeful and who is confident, and he has got what should I say? That particular positive element in his characters, in his character. Now, Hemangi Phakadkar has given the example of the Indian Prime Minister, Dr. Narendra Modi. He is a good leader. So now why he is a good leader? Actually, Akan has given the example that PM Modi is a good leader because he's the one who leads by example and effectively carries his followers along. He's a productive person. So Narendra Modi has got all these qualities that make him a leader. But basically, a leader is a person, who takes along with him all his followers. Whoever is there with him, he just takes it. Okay, very good, Victor. Victor has stated that a leader is someone who can see how things can be improved. Very good. And who rallies people to move toward that better vision. Leaders can work toward making their vision a reality while putting people first. That's wonderful. See, if an entrepreneur has to be successful in his or her business, he has to be a good leader. He has to be a good leader means what? He has to, what should I say? He should have a vision of what he wants to do in the business. Then he should make his vision a reality. Yes, and he should people first. So a good entrepreneur. Now I'm going back to YesTech Solutions. YesTech Solutions, is the CEO of Dr. Alex. She is not just taking her YesTech Solutions ahead, but she is always put people first. That is, she is going an extra mile for the educators, for the schools, for the teachers, and obviously for the society by doing something other than her business. Yes, by taking the social responsibility. So a good leader, since we are taking everything in the friendship, what should I say, framework of entrepreneurship, I am taking that to entrepreneur. So a good entrepreneur is a good leader. And yes, Shubham very rightly pointed out, and even Victor has said, he has got a clear vision and ambition to succeed. Without ambition, you cannot succeed in life. So a good entrepreneur always has got ambition. Now, along with that, if an entrepreneur, if you are running a business and if you are an entrepreneur, you should have business knowledge. If you don't know the knowledge, that is, if you are entering into suppose one specific business, you should have the knowledge of that business. Yes, so if you are starting your own company, suppose which company you will start? Anyone wants to start a company? Yes, just type in our chat box which company would like to start. Nobody wants to start a business company. Yes. Yes, anyone?
How about a food stall, a restaurant?
Fruit farm company. Okay, Victor says that he wants to start a fruit farm company. Okay, so if you want to start a fruit farm company, Victor, then obviously you should have the basic knowledge. Basic knowledge about what? How to run that business. Yes, isn't it? So fruit farm means fruit is something which is, what should I say? It's a perishable product. So you should know that particular background. You should know how to preserve the fruits. Then you should know the processing, that is how it will start from the farm and how will reach to the ultimate place where it will be sold. So that particular, right from the packaging, right from the, what should I say, from buying the fruits from a farmer to reaching to the place where it will be sold. So you should have the basic knowledge of how that reaches, isn't it, Victor? Yes. So you should know everything, since fruit is a perishable product, edible product, then you should know how to preserve it, how to protect it, and how to sell it, and how it should reach to the ultimate, what should I say, seller who is going to sell it. Now, proactive. The business entrepreneur has to be proactive. Anybody knows what is meant by the word proactive? Can you write the meaning of the word proactive? Proactive is, proactive means he should always take into consideration that there are going to be some problems. So he should have thought about the solutions proactively. So that is very important. So in entrepreneurship, if you start a business or a company, you're going to face challenges. You're going to face obstacles. So a good leader, a good entrepreneur is proactive. Proactive means he knows that it may happen. So he has got a vision. So he is proactive and he thinks about what can be the problems. So he has got the solutions beforehand. Next is communication. In life, if you want to be a successful human being, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you should be a good communicator. You should know how to communicate your feelings, how to spell out what you feel. Many a time what happens in life, we want to convey something and we cannot convey because we are not good communicators. So I would like to say a simple thing. A good communicator is a very good listener. So an entrepreneur is a very good listener, because if you listen to your client, if you listen to the person who is in contact with that contact person, then obviously you can speak well. So a communicator is a person who is a good speaker also and a good listener also. So an entrepreneur has to be a good listener if he has to be a successful entrepreneur. He has to listen to people and then he has to speak and he has to sell his product. So you cannot sell your product if you cannot communicate properly. Then next is critical thinking. So critical thinking and creative thinking, actually we in our breakout room, that is session breakout room, we talked many things about it. So can anybody tell me what critical thinking means and what creative thinking means? Because I think, if I'm not wrong, Amin said that the person who is an entrepreneur, he has to be Akin, he said that he has to be an innovator. He has to be a creative thinker, isn't it? Because in entrepreneurship, when you start, I request everybody to unmute, to mute yourself.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. So, okay, so sorry. So, a good entrepreneur or a successful entrepreneur is very creative. He is an innovator. I think Akin said that creative. He has to be an innovator. He has to be creative. Why? Because if he's a creative person, then he will bring some solution to the problem faced in day-to-day life of the people, and then he will come up with his own product. That is what he said. So he has to be creative in thinking. Now, why creativity? Because if you are running a business, then you have to sell a product. If you want to sell a product, then your product should be also innovative. You should have creativity to come up with a good product, a new product. And so that when it comes to new product, then yes, you need some creativity. Now, Victor has said that I think critical thinking is the ability to think clearly, rationally, and understanding the logical connection between ideas. Absolutely correct, Victor. A good entrepreneur, has got the, he can think critically. That is, his critical thinking ability is developed. That is, he can come up with solutions, he can think logically, and he can understand the situation, and he can set, what should I say, his product in the right market conditions. When the market conditions are correct, then only he just puts forth his product or launches his product. So critical thinking is very important for an entrepreneur, because he has to work on the market conditions and everything. So critical thinking is very important. Then planning and organizing. If you want to run a business as an entrepreneur, then yes, without planning and without organizing, nothing is possible in this world. So a good entrepreneur is a good planner, and he knows how to organize, because organization, basically an entrepreneur is a person who is running an organization. He is running a company, so he should know how to organize things. How to organize things means everything that is right from his, what should I say, the people who are going to support him in his company, how to organize them, then how to organize his product, that is how to organize the production part. If you are producing something, then through your entrepreneur, that is through your company, then you should know how to organize things, how to plan them. Planning is important, because if you're launching a product, then, or if you're if you are just putting forth a new product in the company, in the market, then you have to plan things, you have to organize, then you have to do the market survey, and then you have to launch it. Okay, yes, Akka, no problem. Then the good entrepreneur is a self-directed person. Self-directed, why? Because as some of the participants said that there should be some goal here. So when there is a goal before an entrepreneur. That is, every entrepreneur sets a goal for his or her company or a business. So that particular goal makes him self-directed. Direction is very important in life, and self-directed means nobody else motivate. There is no need of any motivator or an inspirer. He himself is his what should I say, motivator and inspirer, and he's self-directed. He has got a vision, he has got a goal, and he goes on in his journey as an entrepreneur. Now, flexibility. Now, in business, in entrepreneurship, you have to be flexible, because you don't know what market conditions are going to be. So if you decide as an entrepreneur that this is going to be your profit margin, suppose you are selling one product, okay, as Victor said that he is going to sell, suppose a cart, maybe a box of apples for a specific time, a specific amount. Yes, he has decided, and that specific profit he has to. But now, just now, Dr. Alex said that it's heavy downpour in Manila. Okay, now in this particular condition, if the there is one, what should I say? There is heavy downpour, and there is a problem in transport, and the apples do not reach to that particular place where it has to be reached, and they are not sold properly. Then what he can do is he has to be flexible in the profit margin, and then he can just change the price and sell out the product. So flexibility is very important, number one. Number two, flexible means what? He has to be flexible in taking decisions. He has to be flexible in executing whatever his plan is. So flexibility is important, because we will in our next sessions we are going to talk about different things, but we cannot predict things in business. Unpredictability is part and parcel of good business or any business. So this particular problem can be solved by a good entrepreneur with his flexibility. Endurance, again, it is interrelated. A good entrepreneur has got that quality called endurance. He can endure things. Obstacles come and go, but he endures in the business. There are profit there are some years when you have profit, sometimes you can have small losses, then he has to endure them and he has to go ahead. Negotiation. Now, actually, it is again related with communication, because he is a good negotiator, because an entrepreneur has to sell a product. The product can be of any quality, any type, but he has to sell it. And so he has to have the negotiation. That is, he should be a good negotiator. Then ability to deal with the unexpected, actually that is the last point. So he has to have the ability to deal with the unexpected, because the life is unpredictable. There are things which are not going to be predicted. Now, our partner, Paloma, she was supposed to join, and we were supposed to greet her, and we were supposed to be here on this particular platform. But some things are unpredictable. Just now, because of some, what should I say, natural disaster, we can say, heavy downpour, there is a problem, and she couldn't join. So this was an unexpected thing that happened. And just now, what Dr. Alex did, you don't know, but we shared amongst ourselves which part we will share, means we will execute. And that particular part was then successfully taken over by Dr. Alex. And you don't know anything, isn't it? So these unexpected things are going to happen in businesses, when you are having your company. So all these are the things that are the traits that make a person a good entrepreneur. Dr. Alex, next slide. Okay, so now since you have joined all this particular workshop, MoveWorks workshop on entrepreneurship, that means you have a desire to be a good entrepreneur. So if you want to really a good entrepreneur, then I want you to understand what are your 3 strengths and what are the 3 things that you need to improve if you want to be good entrepreneurs. Would you like to write down? So now your time starts now. So please write down your 3 strengths and the 3 things you need to improve if you want to be a good entrepreneur. So would you like to write down in the chat box? Anyone? Yes? You just have to think about.
Yes, while we are waiting for them, Professor Shilpa, I can actually choose here from what you have shared earlier, like the 3 strengths that I would look really like, I feel like I have. I could say like optimism, and of course the ability to deal with the unexpected. Because of the pandemic, we're able to become agile, meaning we have to work fast and we need to pivot if there is something that we need to fix with our business. We need to address that. So ability to deal with the unexpected, and of course leadership. With everything that we do as an entrepreneur, if we are not a leader, if we do not lead by example, if we do not walk the talk, then we're not able to become who we want to be. So I think all these traits here, they're important, but those are the strengths that I really think that I have right now. And of course, there are things that we need to improve as well. So I'd like to share also some of the things that I'd like to improve while we're waiting for the others to, at least chat. So I think it's more of planning and organizing, because with everything that's happening, and sometimes I have to get like I have 2 interns that help me, so that I am like on top of everything that I am doing. So I have an intern that would tell me, you have a meeting here, you have a meeting there. And sometimes if I'm not able to attend the meeting, they attend it for me. It is really according to your priorities. That's why planning and organizing is really important. And of course, people like us also need to really have to make sure that we're on top of that. And the other thing is, let's see, endurance. I think we're fine with that. I think it's just the planning and organizing, really. Maybe we can read what the others have shared.
Still
Oh, they have not shared anything yet. So let's see. Maybe we can call some of your students, Professor Shilpa. Maybe I think they'll be able
Yes.
to really share what they're thinking as well.
Archana, would you like to say something? Shubham, if you don't want to write, then it's, I think some of them are writing, but if you want to speak, then you can speak. Archana, Himangi, are you still typing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Archana, if you have got some noise, then you can write down and just share your views. Satyam, are you there? Would you like to say something? Okay, so Joycey has written, yes, my 3 strengths. I'm self-directed, I'm open, planning and organizing. That's wonderful. So Joycey knows that the strengths are openness, and he's a good planner and a good organizer too. 3 things I need to improve is, okay, leadership, business knowledge, and creative thinking. Okay, so I assure you, Joycey, that through this workshop, you will definitely improve on these 3 qualities of yours, which you need to improve. Leadership, you will be a good leader, and you will get basically very good, what should I say, inputs from this workshop, because basically movers is a kind of movement which believes in developing youth into good leaders. So you will be a good leader. And creative thinking, yes. So you will definitely do all these things. And I'm very happy that you know that you have to work on these 3 things. Smita has said that her positive quality is she's a positive thinker. That's great. Archana has stated that I have strength. My strengths are I am a good communicator. Then I understand as well as support my parents. Okay, so she has got a great understanding of people. Victor has said that his strength is leadership, organization, and networking. Wonderful. Networking is nowadays networking is also a kind of strength. That is, if you do not have networking, then you cannot reach. And I think yes, Victor is doing that through this particular platform. Things to improve is listening skill. Oh, that's wonderful. So you understand that you have to improve on listening. Okay. Empathy. So Victor has rightly pointed out that he has to improve empathy. How many of you know what is empathy? Empathy means wearing the shoes of the other person and feeling what he or she feels. So really a good entrepreneur is one he should be empathetic, isn't it? Yes. So if you have empathy, then only you can understand. And Victor, I think you will be able to be empathetic and you can develop that quality of empathy. You have to improve, Archana Jalvi, improve things that leadership, organization, and practical thinking. Okay. Okay, that's great. So you know what you are supposed to. But I assure you that through this particular workshop, you will be a good leader. You will be a better organizer. And yes, you will do on your practical thinking. Shubham has written that his strength is his optimistic. He is creative and he is very confident. And yes, he needs to improve on his communication skills, business and leadership. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Now we have come to the another, what should I say? Okay, thank you, Fabrice. Endurance, openness, and self-directed, and things to work on: leadership, communication, and knowledge in business. Just wonderful for sharing. So I thank everyone for sharing your strengths and the things that you want to improve. Now, please go on next slide. Thank you so much, Dr. Alex. Now you can see the slide here. There are think like an entrepreneur. So now what we are going to do is, this is going to be very interesting, I know, and you're going to enjoy it very much. So just there are some situations here. I will just read out, and you have to think like an entrepreneur. Okay. So situation 1, your business in the local market has been focusing on making jewelry for tourists for many years. As a well-known tourist attraction, the market has many visitors and jewelry is a popular souvenir. Recently, many other businesses have started selling jewelry too. So business is not as good as it used to be. At the same time, the demand for different types of handicraft items have gone up, as many tourists keep asking for it. Now, you know the situation 1, and now situation 2. Another business has been selling bread and pastries to the neighborhood for many years. Recently, many neighbors have complained because the bread is often bad and not very tasty. The community feels that they want something new. So these are the two things. Now my question to you is, hello, Dr. Alex? Hello, Dr. Alex?
Yes.
Can we go to the next slide, please?
Hold on.
Okay. So I have given you the two situations, and you have to do what? You have to choose between situation 1 or situation 2. Okay. And then question 2 is, as an entrepreneur, what would you do in that particular situation? So I request Dr. Alex to create the breakout room session. Thank you, Dr. Alex.
Yes. Hold on. For this breakout room, you only have 10 minutes. We gave 15, but it's 10 minutes. We enter 10 minutes. I'll assign the others that have not been assigned.
Okay, all right, Stefan, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Hello?
So I think everyone is in the breakout room. So if you click on the prompt, you are going to join a breakout room and then speak with your fellow participants.
Okay, so now we're back. And I think our participants are just entering. Yes, we are entering. We had like a good sharing with our room, and I'm sure your room had a lot of sharing as well, Professor Shilpa. So over to you, Professor Shilpa.
Okay, just now, we had a discussion and about situation one and situation two, and the answers that were amazing given by the gist of it was that you have to give quality products, and when an entrepreneur maintains his or her quality of products, then obviously he is going to get customers. Even though he sells the product at a higher rate, the customers are going to come to him or her. And rightly pointed out by Matthew was that the good entrepreneur has to win the trust of his customers. And the trust of the customers can be won only by giving good quality products. So quality is important, and when you give good quality, then obviously you're going to win the trust of the customers, because in entrepreneurship, in successful entrepreneurship, the trust of your customers, that is the backbone of your business, of your success. So you can win the trust only when you give the quality product. When you do not make any compromise whatsoever with the quality of your product, then obviously you're going to be successful. That was the gist of our conversation. So can we go to the next slide?
Yes, sure.
That is done.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so anything you want to share? Thank you from my side. Over to you,
thank
Dr.
you.
Alex.
Thank you very much, Professor Shilpa. I think it's Dr. Red's turn. Okay, Dr. Red,
Yes.
take it away.
All right. What an amazing discussion so far from Dr. Alex and Professor Shilpa. Thank you very much to everyone who is staying with us until now. And yeah, so let's go on to the next slide and let's try to further apply what we've learned. All right. So let's now try to exercise what we have learned from the beginning of this workshop. Think about all that has been said, all that you have reflected on since slide number one. Let's try to exercise our entrepreneurial mindsets. But because by this time, it seems that the seed has already been planted, and we expect that to grow within ourselves. We are now going to brainstorm about new business ideas and assess their potentials. But first, you have to learn that anyone and everyone can become an entrepreneur. Again, you don't have to be a businessman prior. You don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be an important person to be an entrepreneur. But the chances of failure are great if your venture is started without careful planning. That's where the effective entrepreneurs are separated from those who are ineffective. Careful planning is key, and you will now learn how to evaluate your business ideas, business plans, and start planning for a successful entrepreneurial venture. First, individually on a piece of paper or on your device, or share it in the chat with all of us, kindly list three, three business ideas, different business ideas, or list ideas that you have shared a while ago in the breakout room. You have two options. For example, you thought of selling some sort of handicraft or product or garment from your locality or community. If you're into food or drink, you thought of starting a restaurant or a coffee shop. Or if you are a buyer and a seller, you want to trade different types of goods. Or if you are into agriculture, grow and sell crops, or if you are into IT, and software development, you can develop your own mobile app or computer software. So we have a multitude of business ideas that starts with your passion and maybe your personal experience. So please list down three business ideas that you would like to take on as you go into your entrepreneurial venture. For example, me, I am really much into food. So I would like to start a venture on a cafe or a coffee shop that is sort of like a bistro where I serve quick food, to tourists and locals here in my place. I'm also into training, such as this movers workshop. So maybe we can collaborate, with Dr. Alex and Professor Shilpa on setting up an online platform for non-formal learning, or I am into photography. So maybe I would like to sell my photos online to potential tourist websites or cookbooks, so that they have content already. So yeah, let's see some ideas from Himangi. Trade different types of goods. Yeah. So if you can be more specific, what types of goods you would like to trade? Would you like to trade automobiles? Would you like to trade jewelry, or parcels of land? If you are that adventurous and you have much capital to what they call this to use. Maybe let's try to hear from our co-facilitators, Dr. Alex and Professor Shilpa. Can you give us one or two or three business ideas that you might have?
Okay, of course, education, EdTech. I have an EdTech company. I don't have to think about it anymore. And of course, we have a school. So, and the third one is FinTech. It's helping startups find money so that we can help them grow and really, scale, because a lot of startups have a hard time, borrowing from the bank, or they bootstrap, or they're they have to like dilute their equity. So we also have this fintech company where we empower startups. So these are the three things that I am actually doing. But of course, I'd also like to later on, if I have all the money that I have, like really democratize education, where I'm able to really compete with the public schools and just provide education even to the most far-flung areas where I myself could provide the teachers. And so that is what I'm thinking. Not just ask teachers to sign up, but really provide the teachers and really bring it there, That's what I'm thinking. Over to you, Professor Shilpa.
Thank you, Dr. Alex. That's great. Go ahead, Professor Shilpa.
Actually, I couldn't get your question. Can you repeat it? Because there was some problem.
All right. So can you share with us one, two, or maybe three business ideas that you might have? You want to start?
Achha, so my business idea you want me to share?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, I'm not into business. I'm into, what should I say? I'm doing a job in a college. So actually, Dr. Alex is the right person to talk about, but still, I would like to say something. Idea 1, 2, 3. So maybe I will give 2 ideas. My mother, Mrs. Nisha Belsare, she runs a school for last 52 years. Now, she has got a business idea. That is, when she started the school, that was a small school, and now it's a big school. And then she thought that she can just add up one new concept, because there was a problem faced by parents that in India, we have got some hymns, and in families, they feel that the student should be able to recite the hymns or some other things. That is how to behave properly and all. So hers is a kindergarten school. And so when the people came up with these things, then what she did was she started one, what should I say, small, not a an extension of a school in the evening for 2 hours, because the parents are all they were doing jobs and all, they were not able to look after the kids, they were not able to give time to the students to recite these hymns and some good things. So in the 2 hours in the evening, she started this as a what should I say, as a small business, and she helped the parents. What the parents, they never could what should I say, teach their kids, teach their daughters and sons. She what should I say, she taught the students all these things. And in a way, she did two things. She helped the students. A good entrepreneur is the one who solves the problems of people, because the parents were they wanted the children to become good human beings, good citizens, and so they were not getting time for doing all these things. So the school did for them, number one. Number two, she also created job opportunities for some people, because there was one person who was teaching dance, there is one person who teaches singing, there is a one person who is teaching the hymns. So she created business opportunities. So this was the idea, how she solved the problem of the parents. I don't know whether I was able to put it properly before you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shilpa. Wow, that's very amazing to hear from our two esteemed educators in this space. That sets them apart from me. So let's try to go to the next slide and see what this means. What this would entail. All right. So when you have thought of your business venture or entrepreneurial venture, it is very important to try and market that venture, because how would you earn? How would you reach your goal if you would not go and promote what your venture up in the market, right? So, and there is there are five aspects called the 5 Ps in marketing, which is basically an elaboration of your business plan or your business idea. It's also called the marketing mix, or the 5 Ps of marketing, which is product, place, price, promotion, and people. So these are key elements in marketing that are used to position your business or your entrepreneurial venture strategically. So it's a strategy, it's a plan. It has to be very carefully thought of. So these are variables that entrepreneurs use to identify and to satisfy their customers in their target market, add value to their business venture, and help differentiate clearly their business, highlight their business as apart from their competitors. Because how would you stand distinctly in a field, for example, of millions of restaurants or of millions of coffee shops, for example? You need this marketing mix, or these 5 Ps of marketing. Let's go to the first one. The first P is product, or this refers to the products and services that is offered by your venture. So this includes what would be the specific type of goods or services you're going to sell or offer to your customers or audience. And it will also include thinking about the function of your goods or services, or the purpose that this would or benefit that this would give to your people or to your customers, because you wouldn't want to sell or offer anything that won't give them something in return, or that won't improve their lives, right? That is just a waste of your money, a waste of your time, a waste of your efforts. You also have to think of the packaging, the appearance, how it would look like to your target audience, warranty, and the quality. It's important the quality stays consistent, or it's improving, it's not downgrading. So in product, customers need to clearly get or understand the features, the advantages, and the benefits that can be enjoyed by buying or supporting, by patronizing your goods or services. When thinking about a product, you should consider the key features, again, the benefits and the needs and the wants of your customers. It should answer the question that is posted on your screen: what goods or services you're going to sell your customers. For example, in our business venture that we discussed a while ago, a bistro cafe hybrid, I would like to offer affordable and quick coffee-based drinks, as well as hearty comfort food to both locals and tourists that would be familiar to their taste and would also highlight the beautiful flavors in my community. All right, let's go to the next P, which is place. So this refers to where the product or the service of your venture is seen, where it is made, where it is sold, and where it is distributed. So in essence, the decisions that you make for this aspect uh, are associated with the channels of distribution and the ways of getting your product to your targeted customers or audience. So it answers the question, where and how are you going to sell your products and services? So for example, in my business venture, we have much profit both in a physical store and enrolling my cafe slash bistro on an e-platform such here for example is Food Panda and Grab Food. But for other business ventures, they are trying to include or transition to e-commerce sites, aside from having or renting a physical retail store or even considering a third-party distributor. You know, so the third P is price. It refers to the pricing strategy for products and services and how this will affect your customers because price, um, you know, dictates how your goods will be patronized. But pricing decisions do not just include the selling price, but also it considers any discounts, any payment arrangements. Do you offer credit terms or installment payments? Or any price matching services offered? Do you offer what do you call this? The one that is popular now, your home loans or something, or your 0% installment for 1 year, And when determining a pricing strategy, it is important to consider excuse me, the business position in the current marketplace. For example, if the business is advertised as a high quality provider of equipment, therefore, the pricing should reflect that because if you price your product too low, then there will be some speculations as to the quality of your product. So again, this will answer the question how much you will charge your customers for your goods or services. The fourth piece promotion, or how you will attract and inform customers about your goods and services. And promotion refers to the activities that make your business more known to consumers. It is not enough to just exist there in your physical space or your online space. You have to promote, to establish, to increase, to expand the branding of your business. It includes sponsorships, advertising, and other public relations or PR activities. And since the costs for promotion can be substantial, there is even a significant amount of budget dedicated to promotion alone. It is essential to conduct a break-even analysis to match your costs with your targeted income or profit when making promotional decisions. It is important to understand that the value of a customer and whether it is worth conducting promotions to acquire them. For example, when you decide to make promotions, will this significantly increase your engagement or your customer base or not? Because if it does not significantly increase, why will you do it? Or is this a perfect time to do it? Or is this the perfect channel for your promotions? All right. Back then, when there is no social media, um, businesses are being promoted in phone books, if I can remember correctly, in newspapers, magazines, even in circulations like subscription circulations, or in catalogs, or in billboard ads, TV ads, radio ads. But now social media is key. A lot of businesses are being promoted there. We have YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all of the ads on the internet, on social media. So the last P is people who can help you make your business a success, such as your staff. How do you want your employees to be perceived by customers? So people refer to the staff, the salespeople, those important people who complete your business, who work for your business or your venture. Uh, the decisions for this aspect of marketing are usually centered around customer service. Do you have good people within your business? Because if not, if internally it's not that strong or it's not that efficient, your business will crumble from the inside. And if the perception of your people from the outside is not good as well, the external feedback will start to harm your business. For example, there are businesses who are harmed by employees not delivering. That's why it crumbles internally. Or harmful feedback by customers who experience bad service, from customer service or from the staff. All right. So on your business venture, for the interest of time, please take a screenshot of these 5 P's of marketing and list down your plan according to these 5 P's. Answer the questions and complete your business plan. All right. Let's go to the next slide. All right. Next slide, please. Thank you so much, Dr. Alex. So, um, it's time now to reflect about whether becoming an entrepreneur, a social entrepreneur, is something that you would like to pursue in your work, in your profession, in your calling, or in your advocacy in life. Because there are both advantages and challenges to becoming a self employed entrepreneur. So, we will now discuss if social entrepreneurship is a suitable career path for you. And the table flash on your screen lists some of these advantages and challenges of being an entrepreneur. For example, the pros would be is a potential for good income, maybe even stable income. If your venture is that unique and good, it can provide you with independence because you would basically be in charge of your own time. You are your own boss. It provides room for creativity, for freedom. But of course, it does pose some challenges. For example, long and irregular hours of work, and of course, lots of responsibility on building the entrepreneurial venture, largely on your own merits. The income is not guaranteed, can be maybe not stable at first, and it needs financial investment um, from both you and external sources. However, these are not the only pros and cons of being entrepreneur, especially now that we are in the modern age. This list is endless. Uh, and you can basically add more to these advantages and challenges based on your personal experiences. So yeah, so you can share what you think are advantages and challenges in the chat by putting a plus sign and then your suggestion if it's a challenge or a minus sign. If it's a challenge, minus sign. All right. Yes, so let's go to the next slide. All right, so we are nearing the end of this workshop, and I think this is the last slide for us. Now that we've learned about the important things about entrepreneurship, the pros and cons of being social entrepreneurs, it's time to think about whether you are ready to say yes, and become social entrepreneurs. Here we have the entrepreneurial readiness checklist, which is composed of different reflection questions. And as you read through each question, please answer it with a yes or no and total how many yeses and how many no's that you answered. If you've answered more yeses, then um, most probably you are ready to become an entrepreneur. If no, maybe you need to still have some experience or training or some decision making to do. Or even if it's an equal yeses or no's, the decision is yours. So the first question is, are you often coming up with new business ideas? Do you have time to work extra long hours in the next couple of years? Can you concentrate for long periods of time on one subject and such and such? And you can take a screenshot of this and again, complete this readiness checklist once you have your business idea to guide you on your decision on starting your own entrepreneurial venture. All right. And please be reminded that these questions and the scores are just food for thought. They can help you think about a topic of becoming social entrepreneurs, even open a debate, with your inner selves and with others. But there's nothing too scientific about this. So these are just some reflection questions that we have prepared for you. All right. So next slide, please. So we hope that this workshop on social entrepreneurship has provided all of you with an orientation to the key issues that are needed to be considered when becoming a social entrepreneur. We hope that we have introduced some practical tools that you can use to move from having a business idea to taking action. Now we know what's next. The next step for those interested in becoming a social entrepreneur is to pursue further training on business planning and sustainable development, because those are the two fields that meet when we talk about social entrepreneurship: business planning and sustainable development. So do we have any questions? Dr. Alex, I give the floor back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we answered all their questions and I'm sure that after this workshop, they'll be able to really create their business plan with the 5 P's that we have shared, and of course, answer the values that they have, and really look at their weaknesses as well. So this workshop is really wonderful if you're planning to create a business, whether it is for your community or like to like for yourself and for other people. I think this is one way to guide you. Our entrepreneurship module is really one that would inspire somebody who wants to open a business. So thank you very much for attending. And before we even go, I'd like to ask Dr. Shilpa her takeaway. So according to Himangi, my takeaway is got to know what qualities an entrepreneur has. Yes, of course, Professor Shilpa talked about the qualities such as leadership, critical thinking, ability to really, adapt and all these things. So if you think you have all those qualities, and you can actually still develop that within you, because becoming a leader, becoming a business person is also a part you learn. So if you do not go for it, how will you know? How will you find out if it is really for you? If this is the path that you want to tread, and if you are brave enough to jump in and really, control the reins and become a business person or an entrepreneur or a social entrepreneur, then we very much encourage you to do that, because you will be creating a lot of jobs. You will be giving back to the community. It's all about giving back. It's all about having a heart, really, and making sure that what you are doing makes sense, not just for yourself in making money, but also helping other people. This is what we do as entrepreneurs. It's not just about profit. It's about helping other people and making sure that they have a good life as well. So this is why I encourage you all to become an entrepreneur. And over to you, Professor Chilpa.
Actually, this particular workshop was for the people and for the participants who really want to or aspiring to be entrepreneurs. So this particular workshop, it introduced you. It was an introductory workshop, and I hope you all enjoyed it. And what I liked the most was, you all came up with your own ideas about what a good entrepreneur is and what are the traits of good entrepreneurs. So you gave your own examples. So I think that from this workshop, I hope that you all have learned something new. And this particular workshop has set, what should I say, a platform to you to scale greater heights in whichever profession or company or business that you are going to opt for. in near future. So from all of us, I gave my best wishes to you for your future endeavors. And I think that these brainstorming sessions, the brainstorming sessions that we had today, these sessions, they will surely trigger off good things in you, and they will think, they will make you think about how you can be a good entrepreneur. Then it may channelize what sort of business that you want to do in your life. And obviously, you will, once this workshop will be over, you will start collecting the business knowledge about what you want to do or in which field you want to start your business. So you will work accordingly. So once again, I give my best wishes to all of you, and I hope you all enjoyed today's session. Thank you so much. Thank you all, Dr. Alex.
Thank you very much, Professor Shilpa. I'm sure we have a lot of comments from our participants, and I think it's about time for like dinner for us here in the Philippines, late dinner. And I think for you guys in India, you are about to get ready for that as well. In Nigeria, I think it's still snack time for you guys, so enjoy your snack. But before we leave, of course, in true movers tradition, we'd like to ask everyone to show themselves through the camera, and maybe we will have to post the finger heart, this small heart, and of course the big heart. So please, everybody, if you could show yourself for just like a few seconds, and we'll take a photo so that we can show your best smiles. And yes, thank you. I finally see Victor. Hi, Victor, Joyce.
Hi, thank you.
Hi. Yes, our other participants are not here, but let's take our photos. And then after this, we can all go. And thank you very much for joining us with Jed Child Trust Foundation and ASEAN Youth Organization Philippines. Of course, thank you very much, the Rotary Club of Chinchuad, Pune, for being here with us through Professor Shilpa Gauri-Ganpule, and of course, Dr. Red, who is a movers envoy, and of course me as well. I'd like to thank myself for being here. Yes Tech, IT Solutions, and Portia. Okay. Okay, let's take the photo already. 1, 2, 3, and please smile. And I think Dr. Red can also take a photo. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. And please stay tuned. We're going to have more workshops coming. This is the end of our back-to-back workshop already with the Movers program. We will let you know. I think in a few months, we'll have another one. But for now, goodbye. But and we will see you in a few months. I think we have other Movers workshops as well. So if you'd like to join us, it's on Leadership in Action, level 1 and level 2. And of course, Dr. Shilpa Gauri, Professor Shilpa Gauri will be joining us already, as we will have her on board as our Movers Facilitator and Mover. Okay, bye everyone. And thank you very much, Tayo and Joseph of Jed Child Trust Foundation. Bye and good night. Over to you, Dr. Red, before we go. Dr. Red? Okay, I think Dr. Red is eating his dinner maybe already. So goodbye, everyone, and good night.
Goodbye. Good night.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.